Check sound, check 1 2 1 2. Good morning, ladies and all men that are gentle. This is your favorite mistress, Madame Rouge, coming straight to you all the time, live. You know how I do, or maybe you don't, but I guess you'll find out if you stick around, or maybe you won't. So I'm going to acknowledge a challenge or a bet per se that I have been propositioned with. My friend Earl seems to think that I can't take a bong rip and hold in the smoke without blowing smoke out. He thinks that I'm gonna blow smoke out and this is what the whole challenge is. And the challenge is snapping one of his really good really good strands of bud in one of his really good bongs. So hopefully I win this because I'm really trying to ride on this. I mean, he said, like, if I win this, he would bow down. And so he better do just that. I also want to talk about, too, today, I've been thinking about a lot of things, like, but mostly, like, human behavior, and within that, male behavior. I think that men could, like, learn a lot from what a beautiful girl with an opinion has to offer. So first of all, let me just say this. Men, if you want her in your good graces, don't pretend like you're 5 years old and, like, play games where you're being mean to her, you're calling her names, because that's a real quick way to, like, totally, like, have somebody tell you to get lost. Second of all, why don't you start, like, trying to figure out who the fuck it is you are, so women like me don't have to, like, feel like I have to work to be who I am in this world, because men seem to think that I need a man to define me. You know what? I see it this way. I'm going to be a self-sufficient, self-made, completely comfortable girl. However, the money that I make is going to be saved in a bank. Because I believe that any man that's with me will be taking care of me up to my par, up to my standards. I'm not asking you for your opinion, and you, like I said, couldn't date me in a million years. You couldn't afford me, and you would look ugly by my side. So just excuse yourself from the conversation. I don't remember anyone inviting you anyways, but basically that's just it. I can't really care that much about people who make no difference if the difference isn't negative, so eat shit as far as that goes. I mean, what? In other news, people just keep talking about how the world's gonna end in 2012, right? The world's gonna end in 2012. The world's gonna end. What happened, like, with Y2K? Well, I thought, like, everything was gonna shut down. Well, that didn't happen. And I mean, geez, how many years are we gonna go thinking that the world's gonna end? I understand the thought process behind wanting that, because nobody wants to die alone. But to think that you as a human have made such an impression on this world that the world's just gonna up and end, that's pretty silly and selfish and unrealistic. And as crazy as I am, some things I say are right on. It's like, maybe in my personal life I don't have much going, like, because I'm pretty hard on myself, but when I go out in the world, I'm definitely something of a subject, let's just say, and that makes me happy, even more so than having close friends that I could sit and, I mean, only because that's what I know. You gotta be happy no matter, like, how bad you've had it. It's like, sometimes I guess I feel like, having it bad was better for me, so when bad things happen, I won't think they're so bad. And that's how people get, I think, into, like, abusive relationships, or into, like, just living to a standard that they think is like, that's their standard of living. They don't know anything different. I'll explain it. I don't know why Eminem made it so easy or Slim Shady, or whoever he was when he was singing the song, all these songs that he sings about his home life, I don't know if he was Slim Shady, Eminem, or Marshall Mathers, but I feel like a lot of people should be sharing, like, their stories from their past, because everybody deserves to feel like somebody empathizes with them, or somebody feels the way they do, if you don't understand the word empathy. And, you know, I listened to this song by Eminem, and it was like something like, I love Valium, that's why I'm on the drugs that I'm on, is 'cause of my mom. My mom's not like any other mom. Newsflash, our moms not only are alike, they have the same names, they're probably around the same age. My mom is a blonde. My mom used to give me narcotics before I was even 16 to help me sleep. My mom I truly feel like she has made me sick at least once that I could remember. One time eating breakfast with my brother, we were both eating the same bowl of cereal, both eating Apple Jacks. And my brother leaves for school, and then all of a sudden I'm throwing up, like, violently. And it's like, I know that there was this transitional period with my parents where they stopped talking to each other completely, but stayed married. Like, as a matter of fact, my dad slept in the closet with the door closed, and my mom kind of used me to replace my father, like. And then as I grew older, she noticed I was so much like him, and then she started to dislike me for that reason. And I was abused. I was definitely abused. At the very least, I was abused. You know, I feel like everybody's been abused, but I think it's just so much more important to bring it to light, to say, you can be abused, and you can be the worst, biggest piece of shit on earth, short of killing or raping someone, but you could always change and be a better person. And there are so many examples of people who have lived tattered lifestyles and have wanted to just be more than that, to the point where they drove themselves to be more than that. And that's where I'm coming from. I'm not sitting here living in a fairyland saying what I want's gonna happen because I'm so fucking special. I'm sitting here saying what I want's gonna happen because I'm gonna make sure it does, because I will not settle for anything less, because I'm driven, because I got fire, because that's the way it's gotta be, and if you don't make your place in this world, now that doesn't mean getting a job, a career. Jobs and careers, they got nothing to do with who you are. That means knowing the standard of living, and setting one for yourself, and setting boundaries for yourself, and also knowing that even though if you had a bad childhood and you were beat down and you were told you were going to be nothing, at this point you got to know that there is more, and you will. And I know that it's so hard, because when all you know is being torn down and put down, and that's all you know, well, that's your only reality. But I'm telling you right now, there is another reality. And the way that you live, if you're being abused, that's not normal. And you do deserve better, and it's not your fault. And you just got to fight to be you, and you got to fight to be free. And it's really sad that we live in a country they call home of the free, that there are so many things that just cancel each other out in hypocrisy, that how could they dare call it land of the free? Land of the free if you can afford it. Land of the free if your parents, decide to raise you right, which I don't know how often that happens, because pretty much everyone I know is pretty fucked up. I mean, I have friends who live good lives at home and shit, but still fucked up their lives anyway, so I don't know. You're damned if you don't, you're damned if you do, right? Anyways, I basically came on here because I had some writing, and, I just wanted to share it. I guess it speaks for itself, right? Okay. Let's see. waiting just to be somebody, waiting just to go somewhere, waiting to wake up and pay attention, wishing that I could live in an alternate reality, at least now and then, because this city gets the best of me. No grass, no trees, I wish I could wish for everything, every wish I wanted, remembering everything that didn't haunt, and saving some time for someone in my life. I fear I might be both the jar and the lid. See, they say there's a lid for every jar. I say, prove it. I haven't seen it thus far. They say, well, you're young, and it's not the right time in your life yet. But that's not putting you down. That's just what I said. I'm so very sick of meeting the same boring people, so sick of having to entertain the unattainable object of somebody else's affection because I'm too nice to just say, fuck off, not gonna happen. It does start to tire me, this life, you see, where I'm pretty and guys like me. I kind of miss the masochist in me that liked the part of myself that would kill me. Where's she? No doubt in her dreams, frolicking about Mr. Slim Shady. As the frolicking about with Mr. Slim Shady as the perils we see when we think we see it and know everything, the disappointments we meet when things are not how they thought or we thought they should be, ripped apart at the seams, taking heartaches as a sure thing, mom's in the hospital again, and fuck you was the last thing I said. Is this irony? I think maybe it might be. Either way, I gotta make a play, become whatever it is that I'm gonna be, hoping I am anything besides me. See, I got the upper hand in that. I can't stand who I am, so changing myself won't be a problem. It's sad the way the women of the west coast of my world are so fucking preoccupied with looks. Sad, sad, sad. Ladies, go look in the mirror and pick out everything about you that you don't like and accentuate that and fucking take that and say, you know what? I'll let you know. I look in the mirror and I say every time somebody makes anything about my face that you don't like, I'll say fuck you. I will never go under the knife for a man's sake or for anyone's sake. This here, this is my dad. This is something that I will never get rid of. This is my dad. This is my dad. You know, what happens to these women who fucking, you know, get so much plastic surgery to the point where they're unrecognizable, and then they get so upset when their parents die, and it seems like to me that how quickly would your parents just disappear if you completely change your face? You're half of your parents, and if you love one of them, you have no reason to change your face. Now, you have two piece of shit parents, go ahead and change whatever you want and start from scratch, because that's just how it works out, I guess. So, this hit is for the people who have been asking me to take hits, and it's also for you, Earl. Let's see what's up, because you know I'm straight, and you know I'll take you right outside, and we could take care of this real quick. So, we'll see what's going on right now, okay? Watch. Watch. I don't really think I have time to hold in the smoke right now, but I think I could do it, and I think I'm going to win the bet, so bet on me. I'll be back as soon as I want to, and remember, Madame Rouge is going to be a part of your life every day very soon.